Adjourn. The trial of the boss versus YouTube Shorts will now resume.
Bam, I'd like to ask you some questions about that last video. Those logs you found, what were they exactly?
Unimportant.
Clearly there's more here in the evidence we just watched. I mean, the facility, the monitoring, that's gotta be breaking some laws, right?
Yes, it's illegal to record or listen in on anyone without consent from at least one party to the conversation. Laws can vary depending on the state.
You know what? This entire trial has been less than helpful. How about we bring up the boss himself to testify?
Wait, you can't just do that. You're the judge.
Yeah, and while we're at it, let's bring the two of you up as well.
Wait, me? What about Preston? According to everyone's testimonies, the crimes are all actually leading back to him.
Sure, whatever. Joe, Bam, the boss, and Preston. Jury, pick one of them. The chat calls Preston to the stand.
The boss is guilty of all of it.
Finally!
He forced me to do everything against my will. Here's a letter to prove it.
Really? Are we really doing this?
I am going insane right now.
Preston, please tell the jury where you got that confession letter.
Oh, I wrote it during the break. I mean, the boss wrote it during the break.
The one time I think I get a good witness. No further questions, he is useless.
Ditto.
Did you really just say ditto?
Preston! Get off my podium! All right, we have 3 potential witnesses. Jury, please cast your votes on who you want to see next. The chat calls the boss Short Wars to the stand.
I'm innocent.
Did you clone us?
Nah.
Are you sure?
You want me to put on a glove? It won't fit, I promise.
So you, the boss Shorts Wars, claim full innocence.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Really?
He said no further questions.
Yeah, from Bam. I can still ask you things.
Nope, no, I can't hear you. I plead the fifth.
Does he even know what that means?
Fine, no further questions.
This is getting out of hand. Whatever, next witness. The chat calls Joe Kane to the stand.
Your Honor, dear members of this esteemed jury, this trial has been way too long for my non-existent attention span. So if I may, allow me to speed on this whole trial and cut to the chase. Or at least put a subway surface footage somewhere here.
Hold it! You're a witness now, so I will be asking the questions here.
Objection. I don't want the defense here leading the witness, putting words in my mouth.
Objection! You have a lack of rights to object.
Objection. Lack of bitches.
Objection! Lack of hairline.
Lack of what?
Order in the court! Defense! Please continue your cross-examination.
Now then, how would you describe this man? His character?
First mistake. The boss Short Wars isn't a man at all. He's a...
A cutie?
No, he's a spider. Spider in the central web of the brainrot content of YouTube. He weaved each thread, spreading his dreadful influence, taking control of our channels and producing low-effort content to corrupt the minds of people from all around the world. He forced me to speedrun Skibidi Edge Riz Brainrot for weeks, cloned me into a mewing communist who just played CSGO all day long, and got me in trouble with my landlord. According to my clone's testimony from last week...
Objection! Your Honor, simply impossible. According to this autopsy report from 3 days ago that I have right here, the prosecution's clone died instantly from a massive explosion which occurred in the southern parts of Sweden over half a year ago.
Actually, objection, dumbass. That autopsy report is... outdated.
What?
You can't do that, Joe.
Results of the second autopsy performed a day ago at my request here says the victim died from the first autopsy.
Wait, so Ko was alive?
Order! Order! Keep relevance to the case.
Listen, all I'm saying, TLDR, based on his actions, the boss is not a loner. He's a cloner, killer, fraud, and definitely not a Sigma, so I beg the jury to make the right decision. Thank you.
Well, that was fast. I'm running out of patience here. Who's left? Oh, yeah. The chat calls Bam to the stand.
Alright, let me start by saying the boss Shorts Wars is one of the best bosses I've ever worked with. As both a legal advisor and a general employee, I was treated well and paid very well. He's kind-hearted, he's hardworking, he's...
Objection! Relevance, Your Honor, do we really need to listen to this guy shill for 5 minutes?
Objection! Let me cook.
Hold it! You're testifying, you can't...
Objection! I don't care.
Order! Bam, please continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Anyway, what I'm getting at is that I've seen that the boss is a genuinely good person behind the mask. Me and Preston were sent on missions issued by the boss, and while the environment was hazardous, safety was of utmost concern in his planning, which was very clearly and meticulously laid out for us. He cares about his employees even if they don't appreciate it. All these accusations make him sound like some kind of monster, but from my point of view, it really just doesn't seem that way.
Bam, you've been present this entire trial. I'm sure you're aware of all the crimes backed up by evidence that the boss has committed, right? And your testimony against these horrific crimes is you think he's chill?
Objection! Compound question, speculation, and privilege. And he is chill.
This is useless. No further questions.
You know what? I'm done. I can't take it anymore. All of you are insane. This entire trial has been insane. Nothing of value was brought by any of the parties involved, and honestly, I don't care anymore. I'm ready for a verdict.
Wait, aren't we missing someone?
Yeah, something feels off.
Hold it!
Who is it this time?
Sorry I'm late, guys.
I can contempt of court you right now for being late.
Well, I'm late for a reason.
Is the reason in the room with us now?
I've gathered all the logs of one Dr. Francis Dave, a crucial piece of evidence that's been ignored for this entire trial.
Johnny, what are you doing? We're about to win.
No, this case has been nothing but wasted time. Please, I want to hear it out.
Can I get on with the testimony then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, I've probably spent more time with the boss than anyone else in this room today aside from maybe Preston, but I believe that he is innocent. His actions were all a product of the crimes of his predecessor who kidnapped him at birth and experimented on him. He may have technically done some of the crimes he's on trial for, but I believe that he's merely the vehicle for a larger plot, and I think that any crimes that he may be implicated for should be pardoned. All of the boss's actions are a direct result of his abduction as a literal newborn baby, and I don't think that he was actually the one calling any of the shots. He was forced in the position that he's currently in, and there is someone far greater at fault. I spent a week with him, and through that week, what I saw was a broken man who was mistreated for all of his life. He didn't want to do any of the actions that he did. He was acting on instinct based on the crimes of Dr. Francis Dave. He was the weapon, but someone else was pulling the trigger.
Even so, he still went through with everything. He could have stopped.
That's the thing. I don't think he could have stopped. Legally, he's dead.
He's what?
He has no birth certificate. He has no ID. I don't even know how we got him on trial. He doesn't even have a name. He calls himself the boss because he wants to feel some level of control in a life where he's had none from the beginning. Since birth, he has been a captive. He has been a slave to his abductor. So I don't even think this trial should be happening. We should be trying the real criminal, Dr. Francis Dave.
Order! 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 Even if this Francis Dave is responsible, he's dead, as CDOT pointed out at the very beginning of this trial. How could you prove that he is still pulling the strings?
The logs. CDOT also mentioned that Dr. Francis Dave left a full paper trail detailing how he did all of it, and I'd like to take a moment to share them with the court.
Very well. Let's see it. This is interesting, sure, but it still isn't proof that the boss is innocent.
Objection! I think it is.
How so?
The logs paint a very clear picture of the environment in which the boss was raised, but they also show that Francis Dave isn't dead.
What?
Actually, Francis Dave is in this very room right now.
Order! This is a very bold claim, ma'am. This is your final chance. Please show me who in this room is Francis Dave or this trial is over.
I need to show them who Francis Dave is. I know he's here, but who is he really? It's Preston.
What?
How?
Bam, you good if I take this?
Go ahead.
In log 15, Dr. Francis Dave states, if anyone uses the machine, I'll be back. Which means that one of the original clones has to have been Francis Dave. Furthermore, in the footage we uncovered showing the clone creation process, there was an error in making the clone of Riggy. Most assumed it was because of his weird hybrid species.
Hey!
But I believe it was because of the failsafe. And we have further proof. In log 5, the doctor states that placing two souls in one body causes the body to crack. And just look at Preston's face.
Hey, they're not cracks, they're scars! Cool, mystical scars!
They're cracks.
Yeah, that's cracks.
Did somebody say crack?
Wait, but isn't Dun Bun living inside of Bun Dun? Shouldn't he be cracking too?
No, he has a crack on his ass.
Yeah, so does everyone else.
No, but his looks like me.
Oh, that's what that is. I thought it was a tattoo.
That's canonically where Dunbun lives. He lives in my ass.
Anyway, this means that Preston isn't just a clone of Riggy. He's also a clone of Dr. Francis Dave, meaning Dave is still alive and right there.
Hey, let's not jump to any conclusions here. Actually, gotta go.
Order! Well, this is an interesting turn of events. We're gonna take a brief recess to mull over some details, and when we return, the jury will get their chance to make a verdict.
Ooh, man, why does this feel so close? I mean, he did it. He definitely did it, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's really what's important here. Although the law says it's wrong to steal, if you're starving and have no money, you don't have much of a choice but to steal some food so you can survive.
That's not how a court works.
Has any of this trial been how a court works?
You got me there.
I feel like we're still missing something.
Your choice here will determine whether the boss is guilty or innocent. Please be very careful.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step on the byway. More, much more than this. I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I did it all and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words